Hey, you guys, this is Coach Cam, and I'm just checking in with you, tapping in because I know college applications for a lot of people are fast approaching. So I wanted to go ahead and share a few tips. Actually, I wanted to share four, maybe five tips on what I would do if I was applying to college for the first time. So there are the four things that I would do personally. The first thing is I would research and list my top 10 schools, 5 to 10 schools. The second thing is I would start applying to and researching and getting information on FAFSA. There would be three parts that I'll dive a little bit into as far as FAFSA, fee waivers, and additional costs. The third thing I would do is identify my bread and butter. That includes your grades, your scores, your letters of recommendation, and extracurricular activities. And the fourth thing is be prepared to tell your story. Be prepared to tell your story. So those are the four things. Research and list your top 10. Look at your FAFSA and other additional costs. Identify your bread and butter, and be prepared to tell your story. All right, so let's dive into it. Okay, so researching your top 5 to 10 schools. All right, so for me, I know I'm it's a bit of an anomaly. I originally, uh, for those of you who know me, know that I am not a big fan of college, but I've been to college a significant amount of my young adult career. Um, Actually, I started going to college, at junior college, when I was in high school. I started going to a junior college trying to get some of the prerequisites and other undergrad courses out the way, just the kind of basic ones. Um, and I ended up getting my associates out of that. And then I ended up applying to only 4 colleges because I wasn't really pressed to go to college anyway, but I knew that I had to go based on the career goals that I had at the time, which was to go to medical school. So I ended up applying to 4 schools, 4 UCs, and I ended up getting into UC Berkeley, UC Santa Barbara, and UC Davis, and I got denied at UCLA. So, funny story is that when I applied to those things, I didn't know. I didn't feel like I didn't want to go to Cal State or anything like that. I was all like, if I'm gonna go and try to stand out, trying to go to medical school, I got to go to the best one or try to get into the best one. Um, and that's another story for another day. But when I got denied from UCLA, like the advisors and other staff members were like, um, got nervous because they were like, oh, if you didn't get into UCLA, then I don't know if you're going to get into Berkeley. And so, yeah, just because one quote unquote prestigious public school doesn't accept you doesn't mean that the other one won't. So just keep that in mind. But anyway, moving on, researching. So I applied to those 4 UCs, and then what ended up happening for me was that when I got into UC Berkeley, when I started applying to those schools, I started researching where is it, how far do I want to be? Do I want to be close to my family or do I want to be far away? What kind of environment do I want? I wasn't super social, like, or I knew that I wouldn't be super social because I knew I would have to work and focus on my studies. But I wanted to be in a place where if I wanted to have a good time, I could. So I took those things into account. So research those things, visit the area if you can, or start doing a research on the area and the environment. So that's one. Look up application deadlines. Think about, I know for UCs, which are University of California, for UCs, they're fast approaching. I think the deadline is like um, towards the end of November, like the last day of November or something like that. But do not wait until the last day. But don't quote me on that. I don't remember. It's been 10 years since I applied to Cal, but no, 10 years. No, it's been a long time. I'm not gonna date myself. But yes, at any rate. Look at the deadlines, and also make sure that you start searching for the contact information that you might need in order to ask questions. Reach out to college admissions advisors. Talk to your high school counselors. Start getting information from them. If you're an athlete, start researching and finding out what you need to do in order for you to qualify to be considered an official athlete with the college of your choice. And start asking those questions. See if you can find seminars, webinars. They do a lot of things remote, so you never know. All right, FAFSA. Let me breathe. FAFSA. FAFSA is the financial aid and something. FAFSA. It's something you need in order for you to be able to pay for school because school is expensive AF. So make sure that you do that. Get the information from them as well. Ask as many questions as you can. And make sure that you take into consideration what the budget is that you need as far as, sorry, let me start over. Make sure that you get the information you need because you're going to need information from your parents or guardians and determine whether or not you will have to pay top dollar for it based on your either of your parents' income, if you get what I mean. And also determine whether or not if your parents are low income or guardians are low income, how much financial aid will you receive as opposed to loans? Just to, kind of tidbit, if you get what I mean. Parents that are, basically middle class, let's say, or able to afford or they have a higher income, they will be required to pay for college. So take that in mind. If you're an athlete, you could probably get a scholarship. If you have, your two different households, think about that, and so on and so forth. But if you would like, additional coaching on that, just reach out, coachclene@gmail.com or techfitcreative@gmail.com. Anyway, moving on. Last thing, or second to last thing. What is your bread and butter? Get your grades. Make sure that you have all of the A through G requirements as far as California is concerned. Make sure that you have your curriculum requirements in order for you to qualify to apply and get into college. And also, you don't have to have a super high GPA. Like, yes, people are like, okay, 4.0s and this, that, and third. Oh, yeah, amazing. But what else? What's your bread and butter? What else can you show to determine whether or not you are an acceptable candidate? We don't care about just grades. Get those extracurriculars as well. The last thing that I want to share with you is to make sure that you are prepared to tell your story. Um, if it's anybody, this is kind of a bittersweet thing. There's something that a lot of you are going to be required to submit, or you'll be asked a series of questions depending on XYZ or whatever. But some in some cases you will be asked to submit a personal statement that basically talks about or asks you about who you are and what you've been through. It won't say it like that. However, that's basically what it is it's asking for you to tell your story. And for a lot of us, it's very personal. And being a young adult, or practically a kid, and if this is your first time, a lot of us have been through a lot, and so you have to make sure you self-identify. Where are you from? What is your culture? What is your beliefs, and so on and so forth? What have you endured? What have you had to overcome? And some of these things are very personal. Sometimes you don't want to overshare, but there are ways that you can allude to the things that you've been through without like telling so much. You're not looking for a sob story necessarily, but you want them to see like, wow, despite everything that this person has been through, they were able to do this, this, and this. That kind of helps build and kind of tie the bow, if you will, with that complete package of, yes, I want this candidate. So yeah, so those are the things that I would share. I've helped so many people and so many young adults including, family members, like when college applications are coming around, and some of my younger family members, the parents of them will be like, hey, they about to get ready to go to college, or they're ready to do this, can you help them? And I don't know why I got assigned as the go-to person, but there's even been people that I've met, just in passing. um and so I'm just saying all that to say, like, if you're trying to like pursue a career in medicine or nursing or computer science or engineering, or or even if you just want to take a trade, or you want to, advance, some of these career paths are worth it. Some of them are worth the investment. Don't worry about the debt, don't worry about the expenses. Like, you can work it out. And especially if this is something that is going to be your quote unquote ticket out of whatever circumstances that you are enduring through or persevering through right now. For me personally, I am a millennial. So if I knew better, I would do better with certain things and certain choices I made. However, I was able to manage and help several people get into one of their top five choices, or their top choice, or or what have you. And the end all be all is that, or the ultimate goal, or the ultimate thing, is that you get in, and you get in somewhere that you can see yourself pursuing an academic career at for the next 4 to 5 years. So, anyway, I hope that this helps. I've been meaning to this is years to years what's it called? Um this should have been done in yesterday. And yesterday as years ago. But I hope that this body. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, and we can set up a session to kind of go through a little bit more details. If you'd like me to look at your personal statements or what have you, we can set up a call. Just reach out, and we can get you off the ground and get things going. But if you have any questions, please feel free to like, comment, and share this video. I really genuinely hope this helps somebody, because if I knew any better, I would have definitely prepared in different ways for attending such a school like that. And had a bit more of a plan, but I did the best that I could. I did as much research as I could, and you know, I set myself up for success, because I wanted a ticket, wanted that golden ticket. So anyway, I hope this message finds you well. Happy Thanksgiving, or Turkey Day, and remember to take care of yourselves and give yourself grace.